And with the Poppy is an LJL champion that I have been impressed by, Echo. It feels like the LJL uses it more than any other region. Did sort of fall off a little bit in round robin 3 and a little bit in round robin 2. But having that Poppy right now makes it such that the Lee Sin, the LeBlanc here for Flawless and Dice, the two we're saying need to carry this game, are really going to struggle to reach those carries. And Dasher's got dashes himself as well. So if you're going in, Dasher can go out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this Dice Dasher look right here, something we've definitely seen before with Dice being on the LeBlanc. He's shown us what he can do, but it's like you're saying, he's going into a comp that's not going to be making it easy for him, but we're going to have to pray that he's going to roll the dice and get that 6, because game on, ladies and gentlemen. The first game of tonight's playoff, depending on your time zone. We're about to get right underway, and we are on the Rift. You know the game we play, looking at the sums, looking at the ruins. Anything striking your eye right off the bat?
I mean, there is the Unsealed Spellbook for Rayfarki. That's something that I like to see a lot on these sort of melee top laners, tanks who are just trying to survive the lane when they're running into ranged matchups. Conqueror for Aphelios, I guess, versus the lethal tempo. That's fairly standard as well. It gives you a little bit more sustain, a little bit more damage here. And for that, I feel like Yuhi's thinking that I might be hitting that front line more than I'm actually hitting Marble. Isn't worried about the range here. I'm outranged anyways. That's Flawless and Dice's job. But other than that, fairly standard across the board.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like, especially with Burning Core, we've always seen that like they have the skill you need to play safe in the lane. It really isn't until this mid game when they have these team fights that they start making these questionable plays, to say the least, where you really kind of sit there and they're like, why did you do that? Was that the move? Not really. But we're gonna have to wait and see. The AI not rooting for Burning Core here, though. The only 48% to 52-bit SoftBank HAWKS a favorite there at the moment. Gonna have to see if they prove right or if we come out right in the end.
Yeah, I've got very mixed feelings about that right now, Echo, because in chat here, you know, Nymera saying that he thinks Burning Core might take this first game, and then we've got Blitz saying the opposite here. Normally we go the opposite of either of them, so a little bit split. We'll have to see how that one goes here, but for now, both junglers not starting on the same side of the map, opposite sides here, and I like it for both of them, because when you look at what the matchups are, Flawless doesn't really want to gank Rayfarki. You're on the Ornn, you're not the carry Rayfarki. Not that important to get him ahead. Bot side's got more kill threat, and Blank on the other hand, you know, saying that, okay, Marble, Rhina, you guys should be fine bot side right now. I'm going to try and get Kinatsu ahead, because we already said one of the keys for HAWKS to win this is to shut Rayfarki down. And even though he's on a tank, hey, shutting him down and getting your split push threat with that Gnar online faster is always a good thing.
Yeah, and not only that, right, he is the only tank pretty much on his team right now. Obviously, Flawless, depending on the build path he ends up going for, may become somewhat of a tank himself. But for right now, at the moment, if they can shut down Rayfarki, meanwhile, a little bit of damage coming out of that mid lane. But like we're saying, right, if they can get Rayfarki out of the game, that leaves all these squishy characters for Dasher and Marble and even Blank to just absolutely decimate if they so please.
Yeah, and you can already see topside, there is that significant CS advantage here. One of the annoying things about Gnar into a lot of these tanks is that he can harass you with that boomerang under your turret fairly comfortably as well. So a lot of times it's hard to last hit under that turret here. And that's why we're partially starting to see this CS differential come through. But it's important to note, Rayfarki under turret is not very gankable for Blank. So even though Blank is at this top side here, was maybe hoping to find something up top, won't be able to look for a dive, and topside got fully cleared. So Blank right now, unfortunately, not going to find anything on his jaunt. Let's see if Flawless can do something here on the bot side.
Yeah, absolutely. Going in, see if there's any cheeky camps for him to grab, but he's going to get the same Blank treatment. Nothing quite going to be there. Dare I say the jungle is quite a blank at the moment when it comes to camps. So instead, I had to, man. It was too simple. I had to. So instead, going to go ahead, hit that background. Just with the pickaxe, that's going to be a whole lot of early damage. Just overall, most of these lanes just not really, like the lanes that they need aren't in these gankable positions at the moment.
Yeah, and if the HAWKS are playing, you know, to their early round robin style, this is likely to continue. They were fairly passive, but they're looking for action bot side already here, forcing the flash and cleanse out of Yuhi just as Blank was there. I was wondering if they were going to fully commit and get Blank into the midst of things, but they back up for now.
Yeah, for right now, nothing quite going to come out of that. Just showing a little bit of pressure, but actually with the fake back, perhaps waiting to see if they can find some kind of opportunity, but nothing really coming out of it. Top lane, meanwhile, just going to be pretty chill here. Rayfarki not looking to make any mistakes, not making it look anything happen. It's just contentious farming up, getting the money.
Yeah, good job on Farki actually to not fall too far behind, only about a wave down, considering what we saw earlier where he was kind of getting doubled in terms of CS. Bot side though, Yuhi and Fujimoto kind of couldn't make up the decision to back or not. They kind of split the difference. They sent Fujimoto back, and Yuhi wanted to soak up that wave, but it does mean that they're going to be a little bit desynced here. And I'm curious if Fujimoto decides to try and gank somewhere else. That's usually what we see after first max from supports, but the timing I feel like just wasn't synced in this case. Dice was chunking out Dasher looking for his own recall, won't have enough mana here, and Dasher's out of lane as well, so Fujimoto just gonna have to wander back into lane, not able to find anything quite on that first row.
Yeah, nothing quite coming out of that. We do see the first drag is on the map as well. We're already seeing some pings coming down here. They're definitely looking towards it. However, Blank is still in that top jungle at the moment, clearing that camps, and should slowly be pivoting down. Same actions coming out from Flawless, so we might just be seeing our first little scuffle here in this bot river for the drag. Gonna have to wait and see though. Dasher and Dice, a little bit of a trade going out. Charm is gonna go a bit awry, not quite gonna find its mark, and so nothing quite gonna come out of it. But we do see both junglers on the move ever so slowly.
Yeah, Blank now down to this bot side, and look at the vision down here, Echo. 3 control wards from the side of HAWKS, rather defensively as well. One in the actual pit. You can see that they're focusing down this dragon. They want to pick up this first one here, and keep in mind this is a Poppy as well. We've seen Poppies in the LJL completely just deny enemy junglers access to that dragon pit. The steadfast presence often not allowing dashes to come in, and if he hits 6 here, keep his verdict, we'll just yeet out whatever jungler's in there. So you can see Flawless just kind of went, okay, you know what, not even going to try for this right now, we're going to give it over instead. I can't actually contest the early Poppy.
Yeah, definitely the move to make. And it's like we said, right, this is going to be one of those games where it's really, you're just looking for every single opportunity you can get to try and get that edge. So early dragon is definitely a good start in that direction.
Yeah, for the HAWKS, and we said before, right, HAWKS, they're good at getting their early leads. The problem is, can they actually convert that? They actually have the lowest or second lowest, I don't know how you want to count V3 because they didn't win a single game, win rate with a lead at 15 here, a gold lead at 15. So this is standard from the HAWKS. We are getting what we expected to see, just quiet leads coming through from superior laning, from superior rotations onto objectives. And Burning Core though, Burning Core is not a team to usually go quietly into the night. I am surprised we've not seen more action come through yet from them, one way or another. Flawless now looking top, but the ward line that HAWKS put down, man, it's just not letting Flawless find anything.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Everything just kind of didn't work out there. The ward line, Kinatsu getting his mega form right then and there as well. Speaking of getting mega form, they're looking to get mega fed. That's a nice play comes through, and there's the dash as well, and that should be the end for you. He gets hit with the bailout, but you can't bail yourself out of that one, and will go down. That's going to be first of blood.
Looking good from the HAWKS here so far, and that's the visit back into the bot lane that we wanted to see. They blew both of you, his summoners previously there, and this time Blank gets to come in and secure that mid side. They're just trading right now, but Dice is just trying to gain pressure on that mid lane because Flawless is taking that Herald currently here. They want to make sure it's perfectly safe, and here's the fight we didn't quite get to see. Reiner just flashing in. You love to see it come through here, and he actually did get pulled back by Fujimoto's stun. Doesn't even matter. They're just piling in with enough bodies and no flash on Yuhi. If he pushes past mid-river and they don't have a ward, if they're not backing out the moment they see Blank, this is a repeatable gank they can pull over and over.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely going to have to adjust accordingly if they don't want that happening again. They did luck out with the first blood actually going into the hands of Reiner. So not necessarily the move you'd want, right? That 400 gold definitely would have been better in the hands of Marble, but you take those regardless. That's a little bit of mental damage you do there as well. And so we're going to have to see if they can pivot that. We do see that Flawless was able to grab himself the Herald actually for that, realizing that Blank was in that bot lane just quickly to go grab it. So we're gonna have to wait and see if he finds a place to place it, but for right now he might just be finding a Zenith blade if he's not careful here.
Yeah, right now Flawless is not enjoying this bot side, and that's not good for Yuhi or Fujimoto either, because it's unlikely that they're going to receive relief from their jungler at this point. And I think we're likely to see that Herald dropped, you know, mid or top instead, because those are lanes where you can actually kill, force the opponent back, and maximize the use of that there. Now top and mid, it's actually gone very, very even here. We've seen both Dasher and Dice trading incredibly hard on each other, and because of that they've not actually been joining a lot of these skirmishes because they don't have enough health or mana. I suspect that's going to change soon because you pick LeBlanc Lee Sin because that's a duo that has a lot of kill threat together and more importantly can hunt down mobile champions like the Ari.
Yeah, we are seeing Blank looking for that repeatable game. We were just talking about Yuhi about to step right in, the Hex Flash coming out, and Yuhi will be able to escape. But Fujimoto, a very nice handshake. Doesn't matter though. Too much CC coming out. Fujimoto tanking up so much though with the Guardian as well. Is going to be able to walk out of that one alive. I am actually amazed that he was able to walk out from that one.
It's that word, man. Black was charging up the Hex Flash, and if he wasn't charged, if he had just gone immediately the moment the ward dropped, I think they could have found a kill, but kind of hesitated, got split here, and gets to live. Now, Kinatsu, the question is, can he do the same? Oh, another control ward coming down, Echo. That's, I feel like, how many control wards have we seen already? 5, 6 already at the 10-minute mark, but hey, it's keeping people alive. So.
Oh, indeed. Flash coming out, but that's not going to be enough to dash, and oh my god, flawless, very nicely done. The Flash not quite reaching out of the range of the call. The Forge God is going to get knocked up by that. Flawless, finishing the job. I'd be surprised if we don't see the Rift Up maybe being placed top here. Actually, no, he's still going to hold on to it.
Yeah, still got a little bit of time, and finally Flawless has been looking and looking and looking. And did you see the pathing on that one, Echo?
That was big.
I hope
brain.
they show watch where Flawless goes here, because he knew that, okay, it got warded, we can't do this, you know what, we'll brute force this over the wall here. And just the tip of the call of the Forge God was all they needed. The moment the knockup landed, they were able to punish. Great gank coming through, and I want to see more of that. Honestly, I do think this top side is exploitable, but before that, Echo, I'd like to see a mid lane gank because I called for it earlier here. I still want to see it come through. If you can land that resonating strike, that is kill territory.
Yeah, absolutely right. We realizing that Flaws is like, okay, bot lane's not gonna work, so let's just we'll move on from that, let them do the thing, and we'll move to top instead. Mid definitely still gonna need some help here as they are still incredibly even in a lane right now. Dice with a bit of farm advantage over. Very nice sidestep there to get away from the charm, because I think if that would have landed, Dice would have been so done. But the kill squad is just waiting for Dice. The moment he steps up too close, or if he gets hit by that charm, it might just be over for him. But at the moment, Camera deciding to just pan up to that top. Gonna see Yuhi defending this turret. That's very interesting. Oh, that's a lot of damage coming out from Kinatsu.
I mean, 200 years of design here, your bones get real brittle, and you know when building lands on you, definitely gonna chunk here. This is interesting because Burning Core just kind of gave up on the Dragon altogether. Dragon was spawning, and I thought, oh, they're setting up for this when I saw Rayfarki go down, but no. They really want to utilize that Herald. The Herald was running out of time, and they're brute forcing top instead. They've successfully drawn Blank up here, so Dragon actually not going to get taken by HAWKS. Reina rotating up with Dasher.
Indeed, does get seen there here with that Sonic Blast. So it's going to have to go ahead and back off. The Rift Herald going to crash and get them a little bit of money, but not too much damage will be done. And like you were saying, they were able to successfully draw Blank up. So they do still have time if they want to try and get this Dragon. The TP's coming out. So maybe they do just go ahead and just slowly move on over there. Ooh,
okay.
Ooh, Dice, calm down, Dice.
No, he's not coming down.
He's not coming down. He hurt me, and he's looking to send it. Won't quite find it, but that was dangerous to say the least. Dice is in that one pop territory ever so slightly. He's inching his way there, doing a lot of damage, and that is exactly what we want to see, because we need Dice to be able to do that kind of damage if they want to have any sort of shot of winning this thing.
Unfortunately, though, Echo, none of it's going to stick because TP for Dasher here, and now we're seeing the teams really set up for the Dragon. It wasn't the most efficient rotations from Burning Core coming through, but it was completely, utterly unpunished, and they can look to group up here for this Dragon. Notable, though, Rayfarki, no TP, used it to get back to that top side here, and Kinatsu does, so the HAWKS technically have a numbers advantage.
Yeah, and they are just absolutely bursting on that Dragon incredibly quick, are going to secure that Blank. Like, you know what? Let them have it. I'm pretty low on mana. I'm going to just sit back here, let them have it. We'll get the next one.
Yeah, that's actually pretty critical, though, for Burning Core to deny that stacking early here, because if HAWKS had managed to get in there, we've touched on the fact that Poppy is one of the harder junglers to try and get a steal off on. And anytime you can sort of make sure that you secure a Dragon and extend that lead is something that you want to be able to do. And Burning Core, you can see they got more plate gold. They managed to deny that Dragon, but look at the total team gold here, Echo. They're not that far ahead. The HAWKS are still able to constantly find small leads in multiple lanes to be able to keep them, actually not even in the lanes. It's mostly just a Blank difference right now on this Poppy that's getting them that lead. And if you're putting gold onto Blank, Blank has to reciprocate, right? We've said that he's got very high KP, but he doesn't actually get that many kills. Time for him to turn that on, get some kills going.
Yeah, definitely. He heard us talking smack in the post game. He was like, no, I will not let that slide. He's definitely looking for something. Speaking of looking for something, Marble and Rhino, we're looking for that tier 1, but won't quite be able to find it. Flawless is there as well. They're trying to move into their own jet. They don't know. Dice is just chilling. Oh my God. It's just an absolute standoff at the moment. Both teams waiting for that engagement to go in. Lee Sin Syndrome not going to kick in. He's not going to take that Q back. It's a nothing quite going to come out of that one.
Okay, we said they don't know, but neither of them really do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Blank did a great job pulling it behind that rock there, because they actually lost vision and weren't sure how low the blue buff was. I think it burst down faster than they expected, because Dice was looking to try and cheese something, and that rock worked both ways, right? You couldn't see Dice, but Dice couldn't see you, and Blank is still in the area here. They're still looking to make something happen, and because it took so long, Dasher already pushed out mid, rotating down to this bot side for a dive.
Yep, looking to take out this tier 1. We see the keeper's verdict. Just gonna yeet them on away and grab that turret. That is so toxic. Nothing they can do to defend that turret, as they just get launched away and have to watch midair as their turret crumbles.
You know what, Echo? It's the safe play to keeper's verdict them just yeet that bot lane out of it, but I really think it was diveable. Honestly, they had four people. You could have gone in, and Yuhi Fujimoto are so squishy. We saw it before when Blank forced that gank earlier after they blew summoners here. If you're bringing Dasher down, it's so killable, but they play it safe, and that is the SoftBank HAWKS for you, right? It's the reason why they have some of the longer games in the league, because they play it slow, because they play it safe. And first turret, Marble now rotated out of that lane. Let's see what else they can get here. They're looking to send them mid for now, and actually Dasher rotating up towards that top side to match against Ray Farkey.
Yeah, hey, listen, man, the meat tastes better when scared. That's why they just sent them away, made it look like it was going to be a dive, but then they're like, nah, we'll be back for you later. You're never safe. It doesn't matter where you go. But we'll have to wait and see. The next Rift Out is alive, as you were saying. And so at the moment, a little bit of movement coming out. We do see Blank heading on over there. The control wood is dropped on us. So Brendan Carr will know that something's going to have a Flawless, opting to maybe try and find something here in this bot lanes. Sonic Wave not quite going to connect. And so the question is he going to look to rotate up? Or is he just going to say, you know what, let him have it. Let's look for opportunities elsewhere.
You kind of got to give it up here. Flaw is not going to be able to move up in time here. So I like the decision said that, hey, I'm already bot side. Let's double down on this.
Coming out. Indeed, Kinatsu doesn't have big mode at the moment. The ultimate coming out from Fujimoto, but not quite going to land. And so nothing quite going to come out of that. And that's just 2 ultimates for Kinatsu to be able to jump away. Meanwhile, in this mid lane, turret getting incredibly low is going to go down. Nothing quite that Dice and Ray Farkey can do at the moment. It just feels like the side Burning Core here kind of split up at the moment. They're not where they need to be. It's like, you know, that Rift Shroud's being taken, and it said you're in the bot lane trying to take out Kinatsu, who's incredibly tanky, and then you don't even manage to do that. You lose Rift Herald, you lose the tier 1.
Yeah, I think that was Burning Core trying to make the best of a bad situation, where unfortunately Flawless hasn't quite lived up to his name in terms of being at the right objectives at the right time, for that matter. Even the one dragon that they took kind of felt like that was HAWKS messing up a little bit, trying to answer back Flawless. And you can see that anytime Blank is being proactive and not reacting to Flawless right now, it's really working out. And that was also partially a great flash from Kinatsu. If Kinatsu hadn't flashed and had been hit by that hostile takeover, Burning Core probably would have made it worse.
Well, Charm coming through, Everfrost as well. A whole lot of damage coming out, though. Dasher might have thought he'd be doing a little bit more damage. Dice, though, does not like the disrespect and is going to respond with some damage of his own. And so overall, both mid laners are going to be incredibly even. We see the Rift Gel instantly getting dropped. They're looking to siege down this tier 2 in the mid lane, and there's really not much that Yuhi and Fujimoto can do right now. They need some kind of assistance if they want to be able to stop this threat. Tier 2 goes down. And HAWKS are just like, okay, well, we'll take down Ray Farkey, and then we'll go get Dragon as well.
Yeah, and once again, really decisive movement from the HAWKS here. The moment they were like, okay, we know Dice TP to the top side. We know Flawless is not in mid lane. Hey, we push for mid immediately with Herald, get the inner, and look at the perfect timing while they fall back onto Dragon. And where is Burning Core? They're left reeling right now. They are once again behind the curve in terms of these objectives here, and Flawless being out of position. Dice not, if they can't kill Dasher here, all this time has been wasted, and they found next to nothing for all that the HAWKS are getting.
Yeah, I feel like Dasher, he knows that they're trying to get him. He's just taunting him. He's at the turret like, yeah, come on, come try and get me. Let's see what happens. A whole lot of nothing. You're just going to be losing objectives left and right. And they do end up losing that dragon as well. And it was all for naught. They realized they're not going to get Dasher anytime soon. So instead they opt to just like steal the wolves. And I dare I say, correct me if I'm wrong, I might just say that's not worth it.
Echo, if you're burning core, you always say worth it. You're right. Mathematically, it definitely wasn't worth it. The pressure, psychological pressure, that's what we're going to chalk this one up to for Burning Core. Really well played from HAWKS, though. They're not giving Burning Core much of an opportunity to make anything happen in the lanes, and they've done a great job of that all game long. We're 20 minutes, Echo. There's only one kill apiece right now, and it's not for lack of trying on the part of Burning Core. We can see that the HAWKS like to play slow, and Blank has been ganking. But Flawless has not been playing slow. He's been desperately trying to find kills anywhere, and they've kept him at 1. That, to me, is a massive win from the Hawks so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a huge thing is just this vision that's been coming out. We even see just now, Flawless was looking for some kind of an engage. And then Ryan is like, here's a ward. Yeah, we know where you are now. So that's not going down. And so we saw it every time that Flawless tried to get into this top lane, tried to get into this mid lane where we were talking about he needs to be there early to try and get these leads. He's always been spotted out by just the absolute wall of control wards and normal wards that were just there to stop any sort of chance he had from pulling off a successful gank. And then when he does manage to finally get one, it's like 10 minutes in already. And it's just so much has been going down that by now you're in a pretty bad spot.
Yeah, and even in this particular play where they're taking down this topside turret, Blank was hovering the entire time, daring Flawless to come. And they wanted the Lee Sin there. I mean, between Ari with all the CC, between Poppy and Ari with all the CC they have, as well as the straight damage that Dasher has at this point in the game, you can absolutely kill Flawless. So that's another turret taken with no answer from Burning Core. They didn't push mid, they didn't push bot. And for Burning Core, they're not that far behind. They're only 2k down. The problem is just that they're never at the play, and that's why they feel so far back. If they actually 5v5 team fought right now, they'd probably lose because Yuki's behind the curve, but they wouldn't lose that badly. I think they actually might be able to find kills and make it a fairly even fight, maybe a 3-for-2, 4-for-1 style, 4-for-3 style scenario here.
Yeah, I'm starting to get the feeling that they somehow managed to make the map UI just 0, and that's why they're not there, because it's just, it feels very odd, right? It's like, even though they're not behind in kills, they're just slightly behind in gold, they're incredibly behind on just positioning on the map in general. All of these objectives, whenever they're up, Burning Core just feels like they're just kind of out taking a stroll here, taking a little gander. You're looking at the sights of the rift like, no, dude, this is not the time to be doing that. You need to be present on these objectives, because just these slight little gold increments that they're able to get from them is what's putting the Hawks ahead. You already were a little bit behind when that first blood ended up falling into the bot lane here. So you really should be looking for absolutely every single opportunity. And speaking of opportunities, Kinatsu does try to look for something on Flawless, won't quite find it, but it's just that pressure and that wall of wards we talked about as well. It's just progressively moving more and more up into just eventually it'll just be in the damn base of Burning Core. So it's like there's nowhere they can move at this point to try and find these openings, and he needs to move if he does not want to die here. Bela coming out the flash, actually, I guess better safe than sorry. Was a little worried something else will come out, but we'll be able to get out of that one alive. And Dice maybe gonna look for something, kind of just chilling on his own here in the river right now, but gets spotted out by a ward once again.
Okay, and I'm kind of scared right now for you. He played that really well, dodged almost all the skill shots, still almost died to the stuff that you couldn't dodge out, right? And that's just from Dasher coming through. So a little bit scary, and you don't have proper peel. The only person who could maybe peel for you is Ray Farkey here. If Fujimoto tries to peel, Fujimoto could get burst down as well. But speaking of bursts, Dice ain't no slouch either. And Dice seems to be winning the 1v1 against Dasher.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? And right now, it just kind of feels like it's all up to Dice. It is the Dice show right now. He needs to get in there. He needs to start poking these targets down so that Ray Farkey can send in the call of the Force God, get that knock up, and give him that opportunity that they need to try and get his damage. Because right now, it's like we were saying before, if they go in for that fully fledged team fight, odds are they'll probably lose, not by a large margin, but that's exactly why they need Dice to do what Dice does best, and that's just to sow fear into the side of the Hawks here. Try and get them low enough where they can make some picks happen and then snowball that into a win. Oh, speaking of that, they
Blank.
trying to find it, won't quite get it though. Blank just walking away from that, and just so much speed with that turbo chem take as well. The next drag is up. We see that Ray Farkey trying his best to zone out, but for how long can he hold? It's the question. Dice as well. I'm behind the wall right now. It does have the chains going out. Zenith Blade does land, but it's going to dash over that wall. Dragon getting lower and lower, and so much damage coming out. And there's that Keeper's Verdict we talked about. Yeeting them over the wall. Goodbye. Nothing you can do there. Down goes Ray Farkey as well. And just like that, Burning Core is in shambles. The entirety of their team, they can't move back up. Flawless, incredibly low against the flash over that wall to get away from the Ultra Shock Laser. And so they will get out of that one alive, but they will lose Ray Farkey, Fujimoto, and the Dragon.
Echo, did you see Ray Farkey, how quickly he went down there?
Yeah.
Great, we get a replay, because if you blink and you missed it, watch it again here. This is an issue, because Ray Farkey is the tankiest member, and oh my goodness there, the Gnar ultimate from Kinatsu was absolutely cracked. But Ray Farkey, in the middle of 5, if he goes down that quickly there, he can't actually step up and do the damage. And this is going to be the story of every fight now. They don't even need Keeper's Verdict to kick out Flawless when Kanatsu is that on point with the Mega Gnar going in. And now that is so point for HAWKS here. They finally win their first conclusive fight. They've got themselves a 3k gold lead. Mid inner turret is down as well here. HAWKS have everything they need to win this. And for Burning Core, we said that, hey, maybe in a team fight they have a chance. Well, now if you can't team fight, you can't split push, what can you actually do to try and turn things around?
Yeah, that's the ultimate question here. Gonna have to wait and see if they can find some kind of an answer at the moment. Do you see that Kinatsu Ray Farkey facing it down once again in this top lane here? A little bit of split pushing coming out from Kinatsu. Dice looking, maybe you can find anything on Kinatsu. You're gonna have to dash over that wall. Might just be looking for it. The dash from Ray Farkey is going to go a bit short, but Dice is there waiting at a flag. No, he did not just do that to him. The chains will still land at the end of the day, but that was pretty cool to watch. And now Blank, he's so fast. Look at him. Just dashes up into the wall, hits him with a smite, and takes him down. Ray Farkey going to have to dash away. The Solar Flare coming out, but just a bit too deep under their turret. They take the pick on Dice, and they go home.
Yeah, Burning Core land the resonating strike. I don't know if they actually want to follow in on that one there. Thankfully for Burning Core, though, because Dice has TP, HAWKS can't just turn and burn on the Baron immediately and just take that away. Instead, they're going to try and siege up this bot lane a little bit, maybe split push. Dasher still in that mid lane, walking waves in. And because they're a little bit split, because the mid inner has already gone down, I'm actually not confident that HAWKS will be able to find anything other than the solo pick here. And if Dice doesn't TP, then HAWKS, sure, you got a little golden pocket, but you didn't actually move any closer towards that Nexus.
Yeah, that being said, the gold lead is ever so slightly shifting further and further onto the side here of the HAWKS at a good almost 4K now at this point. They're definitely taking control of this game, as we saw, especially with that team fight, and just Burning Core's just kind of running out of opportunities right now to make anything happen. The clock is just slowly ticking down, and it's so interesting to see because we've always kind of pegged Burning Core as a team that likes to get their hands dirty. They like to get in there early on from the start and make things happen. And this time around, it wasn't until this kind of like 25-ish minute mark that we actually saw these kills coming out.
Yeah, and even then, Echo, it wasn't in their favor.
Yeah, it wasn't in their favor either.
Yeah, you're playing the HAWKS game, and HAWKS love a nice, good late game here. 30 minutes, hey, we'll team fight you twice and we'll win the game, right? That, or maybe we lose the game. But no, it's been winning more than losing for the HAWKS in the second half of the regular season here. So they're starting to hit their comfort zone here. We're approaching that 30-minute marks. Items are completing once again. Marble picking up the Wit's End as well to try and lower the amount of damage that Dice is doing. And you're kind of getting tanky. That's one of the annoying things about Zeri as well, is not only does she outrange you, not only does she outdamage you, she also builds tankier than most other AD carries as well. So as the game is going later and later, Burning Core's options are getting smaller and smaller. And normally this is where a team like the HAWKS would be threatening the Baron here. And they're not. They're still taking their own sweet time with it. And that's a problem for Burning Core, because at Baron, at least there's a chance for you to win that with the debuff that Baron puts down. If HAWKS don't do it and they just wait for the Mountain Soul instead, the Mountain Soul doesn't debuff them, you're still going to lose that fight the same way you did last time.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that bounce up in 50 seconds, it is looking quite inevitable with Kinatsu with that ultimate. And the keeper's ready from blank once again. Maybe we see another repeat of what we saw there. I mean, we called it as well, right? Those dragon takes are going to be incredibly hard, but instead we're going to be seeing a bit of a fight going out there. The solar flare is going to land on Flawless. We're going to find much so. Call of Forge got though. Ray Farkey in that backline only going to get one knock up on the blank there. So nothing quite coming out of that one. Kinatsu doing his best to just poke down Ray Farkey ever so slightly with those boomerangs coming out, looking for that opportunity. Flawless with the kick, but it's not quite gonna get that. The dice doing a whole lot of damage, but it won't quite be enough. The Berserk coming out though. Can they find something? Looking for it. Blank should go down here unless he escapes. No, he will not. Fujimoto gonna go ahead and secure that kill, and that's the first pick that they need on the road to victory here. They hopefully can find a way to snowball that into something more.
Okay, for now though, that victory stops the snowball from the Hawks here. They are going to be able to take themselves the dragon, deny the soul away. And Echo, we said it before, win con for Burning Core here. Get Flawless and Dice online. And Flawless, I feel like anytime Flawless finally gets to make the play, it's a good play. He's had enough of waiting here. And sure, I mean, Kinatsu, maybe not the ideal target, but you take that when you see it as well. To just forced brute force play onto this. Actually, the setup took longer than I expected here. I just remember the Flawless dash in at this point to absolutely punish Kinatsu. That modified insect into Dice as well. And then the hostile takeover was massive because it's hard to land. And sure, it didn't actually land on that many targets. I think it only actually hit Blank at the end of the day, but it zoned everybody out. And you could see that Rhina and Blank could not get out, and the rest of the team just had to abandon them. And getting the kill onto Blank was the best possible target because that's the jungler, no spite, objective secured.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that hostile takeover coming out, Blank just really couldn't move. And it was so nice to see as well the positioning coming out from Dice. Goes behind that wall here, waits for Flawless to just absolutely send Dasher over to him with the kick, and then tries to get that kill. Falls a little bit short, but does so much damage where they have to back off and they can't afford to take the fight. Kinatsu needs to be careful here. Is getting quite a bit of a beating there from Dice, but does do a bit of damage in return. And so with them taking that Mountain Drag, that puts another 5 minutes on the clock before they have to face yet again the dreaded team of the Hawks for the soul point. So hopefully they can find something in the meantime here. The flash over the wall, they're going to find Flawless. The whole team converges on them, and there's nothing Flawless could do to get out of that one alive. And with the jungler down, that should be a free Baron. There will be no smite to contest. It's going to be up to Yuhi and Fujimoto to make something happen here. And I don't know if they have what it takes.
Ray Farkey's here, TP'd in. You have no choice at this point. You've got to kind of pick that fight here, but Baron down to less than half health.
Ooh, Call the Forge got coming in though. Bit of a knock up here on Dasher, looking for something. Hostile takeover. It's just too slow though. It travels too slow, and so no one really going to be affected by it. But they will scare them off from the Baron and get that reset. Just need to buy Flawless a little bit more time, who is almost back up on the board. Another 14 seconds before he is there. So if they can just do that again, Dice is going in from that back line. Maybe he can find something here. Ray Farkey looking to give him that opportunity. The Baron is down to 5k health. They're running out of time. Dasher incredibly low. Can't quite get them though. They're looking for something who cannot do this, and they're all incredibly low because of the Baron. So if they look for the opportunity, this would be the one to take. Kinatsu stuck behind the Baron. Everyone's going down. Kinatsu should fall too. The Baron's gonna fall as well. No, they won't get it just yet. Finally, they grab it. Ray Farkey looking for Marble. Won't quite find it. Won't back off. But Dasher, is he the hero? No, he's not, as he goes into the ground. This was the most delayed fight I have ever witnessed, but Burning Core somehow managed to find a way to come out of that one victorious.
Well, Echo, we said it, right? Baron's the place to throw. And if the Hawks don't do Baron, Burning Core was struggling to find some way, any way of getting back into the game. And honestly, on this first attempt at the engage from Burning Core, I thought, okay, they're done. The Call to Forge God comes through. They can't follow up. Hostile takeover cancel at the back. But now they're out of options. Surely the Hawks are able to take this now, right? There aren't the big team fight ultimates, but it was that deep mission from Dice into the back line, which puts them in a really bad spot. Dasher almost dies right off the bat. And you can see the moment Dasher got chunked out like that, Hawks panicked, and they didn't have enough damage to cut through Ray Farkey this time. He's gotten tanky enough, and the free fire from Yuhi here, Marble getting corralled in, meant that he couldn't kind of skate around and do all the damage. And if you have to just stand up in a straight fight against Yuhi there, well, the Aphelios is doing a lot of damage currently.
Yeah, and Dasher with the TP as well. Gets one pick, but that's about it. But yeah, Dice just with the Spec Ops mission behind enemy lines there. Beautifully dashes over the wall. I feel like he almost just kind of panicked a little bit when he got hit by the Rhina Q there from the Leona. And so he just kind of instantly decided to, click W, head on back to safety. I feel like he probably could have get that kill on Dasher. But at the end of the day, it all worked out. It's all good. So no one's complaining here. And now with that Baron buff, they are just sieging these turrets here. Bot lane, both turrets are going to fall. That is going to be huge. Drag is up in 40 seconds. So now we do see yet again another, this time around though, should be a full HP fight. And now Burning Core is going to be put to the test.
Yeah, and not only is it going to be a full HP fight, but Burning Core have the lead in gold for what feels like the first time this game. We saw that gold graph for a little bit there. They only had it in the very, very early. So Hawks have to be careful with this. And part of me actually just wants to see the Hawks risk it, even at the expense of their life.
Yeah, Flawless looking to find it all, but a Keeper's Verdict is going to come out. Nice little stun, but now Flawless. Terrible spot. He knows he cannot go down. If he does, that means there's no smite left for his team. He's trying his best to fight, but it does not matter. He will go down into the hands of Marble. With that is a huge piece off the board here for Burning Core. And so now they're going to have to do the same kind of thing, right? If they don't want to lose this drag, theoretically, they have to buy Flawless another 40 seconds. They're just going to have to zone to the best of their ability. Kinatsu, in a bit of a bad spot, is going to hop over that wall. They're going to look to try and find him. The handshake coming out. That is not a handshake I would have taken because you're going down into the grave. Goodbye and good night. And maybe with that, they might not even need their jungler. Maybe they're just going to try and start it up. Not looking too likely. Yeah, okay. Please don't do it. Don't get please don't. Yeah, please don't get blank that opportunity. They're not really sure. They're kind of looking for Flawless once again up in these 13 seconds. Oh, he's gonna get spotted out there. Dice, careful there. Needs to definitely be careful. If he goes down, that is a huge damage dealer coming out. But they started the dragon for them. We do see hostile takeover coming up, buying themselves some more time. Rhina does get caught out though, and it's gonna go down. The dragon will still be taken though. That is Soul Point going into the hands of the Hawks. Dice trying to find something, won't quite find anything. I don't know why they started the dragon. They just had to buy Flawless a few more seconds.
Yeah, it got a little bit too hypey there, I think, for the side of Burning Core. And now that's Mountain Soul over the side of Hawks here, who already have pretty good skillings, have a bunch of tanks, and Baron buff has worn off as well here, Echo. So Burning Core, they got a lot done, but they're still, not in a great place to end it. Dice once again trying to spec ops into the back line here. Not going to find anything, but look at what has happened since the Baron's been taken, Echo. Yes, Mountain Soul has gone over to Hawks. That's a permanent buff. Very, very important. And more importantly, Elder is going to be the next dragon now. That's not something that you can look to burst down. That one's going to feel a lot like the Baron. But Burning Core have equalized turrets across the board. Both teams are looking at pretty much, the base turrets. In fact, Burning Core actually have more turrets standing since their top and bot inners are up. And for all that we say Hawks are comfortable in the late game right now, Burning Core are putting on one of their better late game performances so far. They really, really want to, for the first time in their history, make it past the 5th, 6th spot in playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. The Hawks going, damn, we might have taken a bit too much time this time around. They gave Burning Core one too many chances. They capitalized, and now Burning Core ahead in gold, ahead in kills as well. Obviously not Drake's. That's going to be quite big, but like you were saying, right, that Elder Drag is going to be one of those prolonged fights as we saw in the Baron, and we saw how masterfully, well, I don't know if masterfully is the word, but it worked out in their favor for Burning Core, to say the least. So, hey, maybe they can pivot that around again and make that same kind of thing happen. Gonna have to wait and see. We do see actually Kinatsu has found his way to sneak into that bot lane, looking to get rid of that pesky tier 2 turret here. Is getting spotted out, knows that he's got to dip sooner or later. So he's just gonna let that minion wave crash in and most likely just get out of there.
Yeah, he's kind of scared right now because they don't have full vision on where everybody is for the side of Hawks. But look at what vision they do have. The Hawks have actually, Burning Core has not fully cleared out all the vision around the Baron pit, or at least the entrance to the Baron pit. So anytime they're waffling right now between mid and Baron, that's granting vision to Kinatsu. And Kinatsu has teleport as well. So when that Baron spawns in 15 seconds, Kinatsu could just TP there. And the rest of the Hawks just need to stall. The longer you can stall, the better, because Kanatsu can solo take everything. He canceled his back. He's still looking to push right now.
Yep, absolutely. He's going like, y'all got to send someone back to match me if you don't want to be losing your base right here, right now. And all of Hawks are like, you know what? Go ahead, have Baron. You won't be coming back to a base. So I don't know what good that Baron's going to do you, but they realize maybe we don't want to give it over just yet. But the Burning Core, they are decisive. They bait the TP out. So now it is going to be a fully fledged fight. Dice looking for some kind of an opening here to get into that backline, but look at those shields at the moment. The charm coming out, so many stuns coming out. Ray Farkey taking as much as he can. Hostile takeover coming out, doing a little bit of work here. Nice little double knock up, and right now the entirety of Burning Core is just kind of separated at the moment. Flawless and Ray Farkey both incredibly low. Rhina gonna have to flash out, and Flawless gets caught out, goes down. Yuhi as well, soon to follow. Goodbye, gonna go down as well. Little dash over that wall. That Marvel might have been off more than he could chew. The damage coming out here is gonna be able to escape though. Ray Farkey can't quite take enough, and now Fujimoto next up on the hit list goes down, and Dice will be the sole survivor. And they're like, screw Baron, we don't even need that. Let's just full send this thing.
Yeah, they're just looking to end right now. And
just get us out of here. Get us out. Just get us out. That's what they're saying. It was a good attempt coming out for Dice, but not quite gonna find what he was looking for. And with those death timers as high as they are, I think we can confidently say that game one will be going into the hands of the Hawks.
You can confidently say that now, Echo, but we had this meeting 5 minutes ago. I was not confident at all here. My goodness. The Hawks with the late game comeback. And for all that we said, Blank hasn't been making too much action. He's been so passive. He's been pretty quiet. Even the poppies, we didn't see the full objective control we want.